Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk about Vivek Ramaswamy and why his youth is so important, considering what young people think today and why young people are so disengaged from our process, right? So here we go. So Breaking Points did a great breakdown, and they had a President Joseph Biden supporter on, and then they had a rival to him, right? So the President Joseph Biden supporter was Harry J. Sisson, and his rival, right, who was kind of put in the position of being a conservative compared to Harry J. Sisson. And so basically they put these guys forward, and they talked to him. They talked to these two Gen Z TikTok influencers, right, who are giving their opinions on what's happening, right? So Sagar and Jetty asked Link Lauren, the conservative, air quotes, right, just compared to Harry J. Sisson, what do you think of us having a president that's old? And he just laid it out. He said, I think Joseph Biden is working 2 hours. He's like, I don't want a president, and he was talking about Joseph Biden, who is working 2 hours a day, is pretty much incoherent, and is stumbling and falling. So he's like, he said it flat out, right? And this is a young Gen Z TikTok influencer, and I think what he's saying is perfectly captures what is happening with young people. They feel incredibly disengaged. They feel incredibly disengaged with this situation where they just feel like the country is in the hands of someone who is not working a full day, right? When the duties of the job should require a full day, is not coherent most of the time, and is not able to walk a straight line over the obstacles that they will legitimately meet, which are microphone wires, right? And that if they fall, unlike anybody who's vibrant and young, they could be really hurt badly, right? And so when you hear a young person saying, this is why I am so horribly disengaged from the system, you get it, right? And so this is why Vivek Ramaswamy's youth is so powerful, right? So we have to be honest, right? The Democrats ran an experiment. What does an 80-year-old president do for America? Well, basically, we know the answer now. Puts us 1 centimeter away from World War III. It makes it so most people can't buy eggs, let alone a car or a house. It completely tanks the economy, and it puts the nation into a mass depression. There's your answer, right? What happens if we have our first millennial president? What happens if we embrace youth for leadership rather than ancientness, right? Well, I think the answer is it's going to be the opposite, right? Like, we'll be far away from World War III. Everyone will be able to buy eggs, and cars and houses again, right? And everyone will be so filled with joy at seeing that their president is not threatened by a microphone wire and can show up on day one in Maui and hand out water bottles and genuinely bring hope and inspiration, rather than showing up 2 weeks later with nothing, right? Like with nothing but and that's the other thing is, like, if you are waiting for an 80-year-old person to give aid to you, when an 80-year-old person shows up to give aid to you, maybe you're ready to give aid to them, or you see what I'm saying? Like, this is the point, right? Like, and that's the point, is when someone needs rescue, you don't send an 80-year-old person. You send people to rescue an 80-year-old because they would legitimately need help more often, right? Like, and so when you hear Link Lauren, you just get it. You get why these Gen Zs are so incredibly disengaged from the process. They're like, what were you people thinking when you said, let's hand the hardest job in the world to someone who's 15 years past retirement? And you're like, yeah, we bobbled. It's like we've clearly screwed it up, and we've made a hopeless world for you, right? And so I think Link Lauren hit the nail on the head and really described in a single sentence exactly why young people are so disengaged from the process. And Vivek Ramaswamy's vibrancy, his youth, his ability to jump over a microphone wire is why he should be president. It's true. And also, you know, we are getting ready to run an experiment where the experiment is what if we went with the opposite of ancientness and went with vibrancy and youth, right? And I think we would get, and I think the result, the experiment will be the opposite. It'll be everything that we lost, we will regain, and much, much more. Every single word of that is my humble opinion. What's important is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.